Okay, we're live. We're going to start with this here first. Okay, good morning. This is Karl F. Rose recording from Bedford, Pennsylvania on Monday, October 28th, 2019. I want to see how long I can go on this without getting cut off. Hopefully I don't have to do a second one. I'm working on my new device now. Things seem to be working, but anyway. First of all, I want to tip my hat to the Detroit Lions who won yesterday, but I still think they're a terrible team. The teams in the city itself are terrible, and I have absolutely no feelings for the city at all. It's a big, giant waste dump site as far as I'm concerned. And that's really the point of the video. Or the podcast. But anyway, before we get going, if you like these podcasts, if you're listening to this on my YouTube channel, be sure to hit the subscribe link and the bell notification. And also go to my main channel on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification to get updates on my videos as well. Just want to get this out. Now let's get on into this and let me explain what's happened. Okay, in January of I was born in Detroit, and but my family moved out when I was about 5, and for whatever reason I was the only member. I basically grew up in Los Angeles, so I've cut everything off from LA and Detroit as well. You'll find out that in a minute. But even though we lived most of our lives in the Los Angeles area, I was really the only one, with the exception of my dad, really, that had any kind of feelings for the city of Detroit. And the only reason why is because I remember growing up, and every Thanksgiving, even during football season, it was all Detroit Lions, and he got me into that full blast. My oldest brother, who's deceased, I'll talk about him in a minute, and my sister, they never liked sports or anything like that, and they were glad to get out of the city anyway, so they really never cared. And my middle brother, I was the youngest, so he never really cared for he didn't have the same feelings for me. So anyway, as time goes on, I got attached to the Detroit Lions for the longest time, and then now my dad, God bless his soul, he passed away in 1981 at the age of 63. And my oldest brother, who was a Vietnam vet, the only one who was that I was really close to, he passed away in 1987 of a brain tumor, which I believe was caused by Agent Orange, but that's for another video or podcast, and I will be doing a podcast about Agent Orange. Anyway, to make... without making this a really long-winded podcast, time goes on, and then finally, my mom lived a long, healthy, fulfilled life into her 90s. She passed away January of this year. She was 93, and God bless her soul as well. But when I turned 61 this last May 31st on my birthday, I finally got the papers of from the state and the will and that sort of thing. Now, way back when, many years ago, I knew that as far as the money situation and all that, that was one thing I already knew, and I already made my ideas and stuff clear. So the way the money was divided up and that sort of thing, that's fine and dandy. But what apparently my mother and my sister did was the way the will was worded. It's like I was no longer even part of the family anymore. I was separated out. Um, Actually, my nephew John was more connected, tied in. They separated me out like I wasn't even part of the family. So here's what I have to say to the city of Detroit. I hate Detroit. Detroit is a dump. The Tigers, Lions, and Pistons and Red Wings, they all suck. They will always suck. I really don't like those teams anymore, but they did win. But it's a big city dump. There's absolutely nothing. I have absolutely nothing for Detroit anymore, and it's too bad because I used to have my heart in Detroit. But because my brother had, my late brother, who I was close to, he died of brain cancer. So why I switched over to the city of Buffalo. So if you're sports fans and you understand anything about Jim Kelly and the fact, I understand that Matthew Stafford's wife had brain cancer, but that's Detroit. I'm done with Detroit. I have nothing. Detroit was like my roots. So it's like a tree. Okay, my roots have been taken away from me. They've been chopped off because of the way the will was worded. It's without a doubt the most hurtful thing that's ever been done with me. And I'm not even talking about the money. I don't care. Yes, I got something. I'm not going to go into details about that. Nobody needs to know that. The bottom line is how it was worded. So it's like chopping off my feet, because I was the only one that really, thanks to my dad, was the only one that really tied into Detroit. But now, since the way this was worded is like I'm no longer welcome there, so I hate the city. And as far as I'm concerned, I hope the Lions lose the rest of their games, really, because they deserve it. They're not even that good. They don't deserve anything. I would like to see them trade Matthew Stafford away so that way he can get a Super Bowl ring because he will never get anything with the Lions. And I think he's throwing games on purpose. That interception yesterday he threw it right to the other team. I mean, that was stupid. And I'm gonna keep blasting the Red Wings lost in overtime last night. But whatever. I'm going with the Buffalo Sabres. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. And that's all the sports stuff. But as far as Detroit, but when you get cut off like that from your own flesh and blood, this is like the most damaging thing that anybody has ever do to you. Now I don't know what my sister did. I don't know what it was worded or how it was rewritten. My sister rearranged it, but when I got married I got married against the family's wishes. And in 2000. I made the announcement in 1999, got a lot of grief, and basically how it works, I was the youngest, and basically I was never given any opportunity. It was like they treated me like I couldn't even think for myself, so I did what I did. They didn't like it. I moved across the country. It was the best thing I ever did, but I'm still getting stuff from other things, from other employment, and trust me, I am on the verge of a $50 billion lawsuit against Blue Shield of California, and trust me, I will win that case. I've got documentation. All I need is the right medical diagnosis, and trust me, I will bring Blue Shield I'll bring Blue Shield all across the country. They will cease to exist as a business, and I will be $50 billion richer minus the attorney's fees. Trust me, because that's where I'm going with this. All I need is the right diagnosis. I've got things in my medical records that will just blow people away, and I am tired of the BS that I get all the time. Constant harassment for nothing on and I've upgraded all my security systems. Things are going a lot better, but I'm still getting attacked, but I'm blocking all the attacks now. But the thing is, to be stepped on by your own family is the most hurtful thing that can happen to anybody. And unless you're in that situation, you have no idea how that feels. So anyway, I just wanted to end on that. And I hope you all have a good day. Well, we'll talk to you next time. And we'll end with this.